or the culture's just gonna die off, right?
Okay, so I want to rewind a little bit because I got a funny story. So.
Yeah.
Back, we kind of went to high schools that were semi-adjacent to each other in East Van.
So
I went to
that-
John Oliver, he went to Clarny,
okay.
and my first cousin, who I was extremely close to, went to school with him. So I'd go visit him at Clarny. We kind of see each other every now and then. We kind of knew of each other. And then I was working at Hip Hop Connection in Metrotown, and he was working at Superstore on the corner.
That's a t-shirt store, right?
Yeah,
Back in the
t-shirts,
day.
hats, all that stuff. And he was working at Superstore on the corner. So, in there.
Oh, and here.
Yeah, so we were doing the hats, the shirts, and playing hip hop music, and he would come by on his breaks. And we didn't really know each other at this time, right? We just kind of knew each other. And so he walks up and he listens to beats. He's like, oh, you like hip hop and stuff? Just start talking shit. And he would grab, we would have these hat stands that had a little foam piece for the head. And he would grab that shit and he would just start rapping. And up until this point, I didn't know any Fijian dudes that rapped. I didn't know any of them. And he would just go off and I'd be like, what the fuck?
What is this
That was
fucking-
just freestyle shits too, and I wasn't even.
Yeah, so he would just go off in these freestyle. And I was just like dumbfounded. I'm like, how the fuck?
That's hilarious.
So he would come all the time, and then he would tell me to try it. He'd be like, yo, man, you like music, listen to music, you fucking try it. And I'm like, hell no, you're crazy. Never even crossed my mind to even attempt to freestyle. At this point, I was writing like nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
Like literally, Dr. Seuss,
Yeah.
every 4 bar has to rhyme nursery rhymes,
yeah,
right?
You could probably sell some of those right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, right.
And the thing is, I've kept everything too, and I go back and I
true.
look at it, and I cringe so hard.
though.
So he would like encourage me, like, yo, you should freestyle, do stuff. I don't know what the reasoning was at this time for him to be doing this, but he just kept at it, and then
He's the spark.
I was relentless. I
yeah,
would go
he
through
really
all the
was.
time, man.
It was like almost every day, like on his breaks, he would come through. We listen to music, we talk shit.
I was full time there. So
We
I
had,
was
like,
there all the time. Yeah.
Mad mutual influences, right?
Yeah.
Because he liked the same kind of music I like. We knew kind of the same people, and he'd always push this, and nothing happened because I was just nowhere close to that. I did talent shows, I sang, I did some little things, but I was nowhere close to the thinking that I could be a bar spitter, like an MC, right? So destiny has weird things planned for us, I think, in our lives, and as random as I met him, as random as it was when I met Queez, meeting Daga was just as random. So this guy comes up to we had a kiosk in the middle of the mall. He comes up to the kiosk one day, just randomly comes up to me and says, hey man, I sing. And I'm like, okay.
Daga?
Yeah, Daga.
Yeah.
Never
I
met
remember this,
never met
yeah.
this guy in my life, never talked to him in my life, and he just randomly comes up to the kiosk, and he's super East Coast swag, like mad East Coast. And he's like, yo man, I sing. You want to hear me sing? And I'm like, okay, go ahead. And he starts, he breaks into Stevie Wonder, My Sherry Amore. And I'm like, yo, yeah, but not just that. Like he'd be like, la 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 la, like the whole thing. And I'm a huge R&B fan. I'm watching this guy. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on right now? Like, is this like a hidden camera thing? Because who does this? So he does this thing, and I'm like, yo, you're fucking amazing. So we started talking. We hit it off, and we started talking about hip hop and music and stuff. And he's like, yo, I rap and stuff. And the only 2 people I knew that rapped were Queezi and Daga at the time. But at this time, they hadn't met yet. So we set up a smoke sesh randomly one day. Let's go have a smoke sesh. And all this time, this is probably from the time me and Queezi started to hang out to the time that Daga came in the picture. I'd probably say it's like maybe 6 months-ish. And this whole time, I've been relentlessly practicing freestyle in the background, but not doing it in front of anybody. Because I wanted to break him off one day and reciprocate the flows.
This guy.
For real. So
Hey, this guy.
for like...
But get outta here.
For like 6 months, I practiced freestyling. Just
Oh,
practice. What would
I
I
don't
say?
even know
What would I
this.
think
This is
of?
the first
No,
time I'm
this is the
hearing this
first.
stuff, bro.
And I'm like, what am I gonna say? I gotta make it pop. So we randomly set up a meeting at a basketball court. It was like me, Daga, Queezi, some high school peeps were there. Rosie was obviously there for everything, and everyone gets put on the spot. Everybody gets put on the spot, and I'm nervous as fuck the whole time. And everyone's going around in the circle.
Crazy. We had
It was like
we had our own like hip hop.
And there was a hierarchy.
Circle
And
There was.
there was
there was.
and there was a next batter up. You know what I mean? There was a
But it
next
wasn't
man
even
up.
that.
kind of
Like
thing.
we had friends that didn't even rap, but
Yeah.
they were part of it, and they would be there, and we'd all be,
Okay,
like, doing
and
this
I gotta
thing. It was
say,
crazy,
honestly,
man.
the reasoning why is obviously because of you, the way you put your energy out there. Because he didn't just freestyle; he would go into beatbox, he would go into singing, he would give us like a live show, we were the crowd, he had the mic, and we were just there to watch. And he would go off, and everyone's just like, "What the fuck?" So everyone is a little bit inspired and motivated. Like,
memories.
he can do it like this. We should be able to do something, right? So we're all there. It's like, you know, moonlight. We're on the basketball court. It's real like hood vibe, and everyone's spitting shit. And I'm just like, "Oh, I got it. I know what I'm gonna say. And I just had 4 bars prepared.
Yeah.
And then I had nothing after that.
Oh,
That's
what?
it.
It just died. It just died. But
you hear the guy
in the
now.
moment, Daga, I guess he felt it and just caught it and jumped right in. So like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that session, me, Queez, and Daga, we smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah, bro.
lot of weed.
Man. That's
And
all we did.
we're kind of like, yo, your style's dope. Your style's dope. And then we're like, we should make it. Queasy said we should make a group, and none of us had even thought written songs or any of that stuff. That was not even a thing. But he's like, we should make a group. So we
I don't even think I had written a song at that time. I wrote
bars.
I wrote our first song for us. I believe, like I think, was UCLA.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I had
It
never
was the very
written
first.
a song before we ever talked about that. But when
that's
we
crazy.
finally got
So you just
together-
wrote bars up until that point.
I just wrote bars. Yeah, I have honestly, like I have pages and pages. You've seen
I've
it.
seen it. I've seen it, yeah.
I would come visit him,
Yeah.
and I'd like be like, "Yo, check it out, bro." Pull out the paper and just
spit
Yeah. Yeah.
But with no complete song, no hook, no
Just bars. Yeah, and to me that was, and to me that was
The hook
that
was
was
always
more
the
impressive to
hardest.
me. The bars were more impressive to me because in my mind the hooks just fucking like were just there,
come up with it.
and so I heard the bars. I'm like, fuck, this is amazing, man. And so it really made me like want to take writing seriously. So we would have these like, I'm not exaggerating. We would get together in the late evening and go to like 1, 2 in the morning of just writing,
how it's
just
done.
playing beats in the background and just writing whatever came to our minds. So one of us
recordings, man.
infamous sessions.
Like
And so
10 like
and the thing is, like-
120-minute cassette tapes, like.
but the thing is, like, we
fucking
would all be working,
recordings,
like, we would all start songs together, and then we'd move on to other beats, and other people, somebody would still be working on the other song, like, oh, I got something here. So,
it's
you know,
amazing, man.
Stevie Wonder's, we were undercover, loving on the run.
Yeah.
He basically took that hook and flipped it and wrote a song for us called Undercover Love Affair. And it was all about scandalous women
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how they fucking ruin guys' lives. And this is so the very first song we ever did was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was so good.
So it wasn't like just like a whatever,
No, it was
because people have a lot of throwaway songs. But
Yeah.
when we recorded this, I'm like, holy fuck, this could be on the fucking radio, man.
Yeah,
it had
still be on the
everything.
radio, man.
It had
You
the
can dig it out and people like,
it had the R&B hook. It had the bars. It had the storytelling
Yeah.
trend. It was just all like put together perfectly, right? The only thing we didn't know how to do was write 16s.
Yeah.
Every verse was like 3 minutes long.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were greedy,
Yeah.
right? You want to be heard, you want to hear yourself, so you fucking get greedy and start writing. So this was all birthed in this really like organic, traditional hip
And we
hop
don't know.
movie way.
We don't know if this is how you do it or not, like,
Yeah,
because
you
we didn't
just
grow
young,
up,
you
like,
don't
we
even
don't
know.
watch. They don't. There wasn't. You didn't.
Nobody
have,
taught you.
There was
You're
no social
raw.
media.
Yeah.
There was no videos, like instant videos be uploaded of your favorite artists in the studio, writing bars, recording that shit. We didn't have that. We had to imagine what they were doing.
Yeah.
We had to like imagine like, holy fuck, what's fucking Redman doing right now? Is
Yeah.
he just smoking weed and fucking writing rhymes? Like, dude, we just crafted our shit. We would write our own songs. We would like freestyle without
Yeah.
music, freestyle with we'd rap over our favorite rap songs exactly the way they're rapping, but our own words for the whole song.
Also, burners.
That's how
Burners.
good we wanted to be.
Yeah.
That's how good we wanted
Dude,
to
he sharpened
be.
the sword like crazy.
Yeah. Our crew was called the On Point Collective, and we said if we're gonna be the
Yeah.
On Point Collective, you don't just have a name like On Point Collective and come up with some whack.
Yes. Shout out to
stood
Ian.
for
Shout out to
something,
Ian
man.
Wong though.
We stood for something.
Yeah,
you know?
shout out to
That's
Ian
tough,
Wong.
man. To
Yeah.
rap over a song
Yeah.
in the same cadence as the artist, but different lyrics.
I'd kill it every
Yeah.
time, man.
Well, the thing is-
I'm not just bragging, dude.
No,
we
it's
can
good to
kill
be
it.
that way. It's good to say it like it is,
And it's a
right?
dope, OPC
It's
is
true.
a dope name, man.
That's how I
Yeah.
got my name.
Yeah.
I got my
Queezi.
name Queezi from Daga gave me my name. Freestyle in the car, and I just went off. And I think it was
Yeah.
I think if I can remember, it might have been a Wu-Tang beat, maybe.
Yeah, wow.
And it was just me and him, and we're parked out by Collingwood on the other side of the basketball courts from where he lives, and we're just freestyle rainy day, and he's like, "Yo, that shit was sick." He's like, "That shit made me Queezy." He's like, "That's it. Your name's Queezy from now on." And that's it.
Because before then you were Jay
I was
Quick.
Jay Quick. I used to
Yeah.
go by Jay Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so man, music is like
So
That's awesome.
made
I
so much.
What a
brought
good
up that story
relationship
for a reason. I totally forgot, but the reason I brought up that story is what the
Here,
fuck?
folks, more of this shit.
What the fuck made you
get more of it?
What made you approach me in freestyle? What was the motivation?
I think about that and like and like as you talk about it, like even when I think about it, I have this image. Like I remember that's the one thing that I remember the most, like grabbing that, and I must did so much crazy shit, like
Craziness.
talk to girls, talk to people.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
And
man.
dissing all the rappers that were popping at the
Honestly,
time.
Before I met this guy, I don't think I was like that. I don't think I
Weird.
was like that. And for some
crazy.
reason, the only like really, I'll tell you back then, I went and talked to this guy because he's a brown.
Yeah.
And he worked at the hip hop store, and I was like, "Fuck, he listens to rap music, so he must rap."
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, right?
Seriously.
Yeah, I bet.
And little did I know, like 20 years later, like here I am sitting with my brother, and
Yeah.
like and yeah, we've been through. It's
pretty remarkable to hit 20 years.
Yeah, man.
And I'm telling you, man, I take the fucking pen game so serious, man. Like I try to write 4 or 5 times a week, just free write bars, just trying to write. And I'm telling you, man, if I wasn't introduced to creating music with you first, I don't think that ever would have happened.
Wow, man.
Yeah, 100%. Because
Appreciate that, man.
because music was fun and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
but when you go to write it and you want to mean something, it would never have happened. Because the way you would write some shit, I'd be like, oh, fuck, man, I gotta fucking come up with something that's better than that. And then Dago would write some shit, I'd be like, oh, fuck, man, my shit's gonna sound whack.
Yeah.
So I had to be so particular and specific with every bar, man, because I wanted to fucking impress you guys.
Well, man.
I wanted you guys to be like, that's
And I wanted
some
to
shit.
impress you guys, right?
That's
because
dope.
I felt like in a way they did kind of like like
Yeah.
look up to me or look to me, right, for guidance, right?
Yeah.
And I
You
didn't
were the
know
spark,
what I
man.
was doing the whole time, and I still don't know, right? But I still talk to a
Yeah.
lot of young
Oh, good.
artists. I mentor a lot of when I meet, I'm good. When I meet artists, because I was hosting shows for the last little bit, so I met a lot of people, talk to them, and you come across somebody every so often that you want to motivate and share it with, right? And like, cause I never, I don't see myself the same way other people see me. A lot of people that, right? And so like a lot of guys would like talk to me about my rhyme style, right? And like, and how I rhyme and stuff. And I think about it like, yeah, like every rhyme I write, the next one needs to be better than the last
Hell
one,
yeah.
right? Because
Hell
I
yeah.
need to keep people listening, but I need to keep evolving the story. And if I just keep rapping about the same shit all the time, well, where's the story in that, right? There's nothing, right? Because I want people to follow me. I want people to understand my language. I
Yeah.
want people to like, oh, when they're rapping along with me, that like they're only the language is only a language that we speak, right?
Yeah,
That
100%.
they can share something with me, right?
Yeah.
So and again, that's missing. Right, from like that whole piece got taken out of music, right? Because we moved into the video age, right? Where you need
became
the,
a show me
you need-
sport
Well,
now.
yeah, and it became that, right? And yeah, all those things are still like, look, honestly, man, like it's 20 years now, and I'm like, I don't want to hear about like money, cars, jewelry, drugs.
That's true.
I
But there's
wanna-
so much other shit to say,
like,
man.
Come on, man, like. And if you want to, like, you got to go dig so deep for it now.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? I did this like 20 years ago. I'm not going to go dig around for music anymore, right? Like,
And if you're gonna talk about money, all that, be creative, man. That's all. That's all it is. Just use your words in a way that makes people say, "Wow, man, that's some shit."
Was that how Snoop has held on? Is because he's kind of kept it.
He's a wizard, man. He's a
He's
fucking
kept it
chameleon.
reality in terms of his age and everything. Like,
Yeah, I just think he accepts who he is so
yeah,
thoroughly that there's no fake.
I like I've watched some recent interviews of him and stuff, and yeah, like I really like how he like sees himself and his attitude and stuff, and like, yeah, man, I respect him as like
it's hard not to,
yeah.
right?
And you talk about like how he created this character of himself. Well, that's the brand, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people who do know me, they know me as Jason, but like
Yeah.
most people know me like as Queezi, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like my circles are very small, but like my personal circles are small, but my music circle is huge. Like
Yeah.
I did over like close to 12 13 shows, and we have 30 40 people sometimes at these shows, maybe more. And that's my circle. People
Yeah.
know my name, right? So then they I'm not up there saying, hey, I'm Jason and I'm just writing a rap. I'm
It's
like I'm like,
Queezi.
yo, I'm Queezi, right?
Yeah.
And, this is what I'm about. This is what I stand for, right?
Yeah.
So
And do you think I think that's kind of hard for artists when they first start to develop who they are to be what they are, like to introduce yourself as the artist, as opposed to you give somebody your